Okay, so we're gonna break down the ship crew capacity that we have on our ships, and now that the game's been out for a little bit, we can finally understand what we saw originally at Starfield Direct. So really there's going to be three main things that you're going to want to keep in mind or pay attention to in order to manage your crew. So I'll show you the two ship ones first. Now, when you are hovering over and just observing your ship on the left panel, so that'll give you your basic overview, right, of just your ship, and you can see a crew of 2. Now, what you want to understand is the one part of it is going to be crew capacity. So since I'm selecting over my reactor, I have a crew capacity of 1 down below in the little brief description of that module. And as I go through the other components that are on my ship, like the weapons, you can see lasers has a crew capacity of 1, ballistics of 0.5, electromagnetics 0.5, engines 0.5, shield 0.5. So if you add all that up, that gets us to 4. But one thing you want to keep in mind is that it will not take into account, or you will not really be able to see in that overview pane on the left side there, any kind of auxiliary components. Like I have this conduction grid component here that has a crew capacity of 1, and then I also have another component down below here, this comm spike with a crew capacity of 0.5. So you add all that up, and now we get to 5.5. Now in Starfield, the crew capacity that ends on any kind of non-whole number, like a 0.5, like 5.5 or 6.5, it does round down. So anything like 0.5, it does round down. It does not round up. Okay, so we know we have a crew capacity of 5, and what's the other limitation that you're gonna have is really crew stations. So since I'm hovering over my cockpit here, you see on the left side there, crew stations of 2. Now, the HAB module that I do have here in the middle of the ship, that's passenger slots. That is not the same thing. That is not factored into your crew. So it is just your crew stations. So for me here, and many of you, as we all do start out with the Frontier ship, the main constraint that you do have early on is going to be your crew stations. So I'm going to move this off. I'm going to add in a component, and that component is gonna be for the crew. I want to add in extra crew, right? So if you want to come down and you want to find any kind of crew HAB module that has crew stations on the left, that's what you're kind of looking for. So obviously go through all the different HABs and find the one that you want. But you can see here, I'm gonna add in this crew station of 4, this Nova Galactic Control Station 2X1, and I'm gonna add this in to my ship. And there we go, boom, I'm gonna connect it all. You can do your flight check, make sure everything's all good. I'm going to exit, but we can see real quick, crew station of 2 for the cockpit, crew stations of 4 for the control station that I just added in. So we have a total crew station of 6. So let's go ahead and back out. I'll pay, you know, whatever for the modification fees are, and there you go. So now we can see our crew for the ship overview is now at 5. Okay, so now that we increased our crew stations to 6, our main limitation now is actually our crew capacity, so we just would need to add more components. So those are the first 2 numbers that are very important to actually understanding your crew number. The first one is with your crew capacity number that you get by looking at the different components of your ship. And then the other one on your ship is any cockpit or HAB module that increases your crew station number. So if crew capacity and crew stations are not really an issue for you, and you're trying to figure out, you know, what other limitation you have, so you want to now come to your character screen, come down to ship, and then down at the bottom right, you will have a crew button. Hit the crew button, and it will bring up your crew. So if you didn't know how to get to the crew screen or manage your crew, that's how you do it. And if you come across the issue where you try to add in an extra crew member to join in on your endeavors, you can hit it. But if you come across this message, you have reached the maximum number of crew assignments with your current ship command level. So what that is kind of basically telling you is go to your skills, and this is the next thing that you will need to level up, is your ship command level, which is down in the master level under the social tree. It is the ship command skill. So you will have the ability to start with 3 active crew members as your base. And then you will have a rank 1 will allow you to get 4 active crew members. Rank 2 will give you 5. 3 will give you 6. 4 will give you 8 active crew members. So hopefully that was helpful, and that is basically the limitations around crew and how to increase your crew throughout Starfield and on your different ships. Alrighty, take care.